This documentary you're about to watch is made to inform you about the evil abuse of black people in South Africa by a racist regime called apartheid by the white minority government. Important sons and daughters of South Africa, like Chief Lutuli, John Dube, Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, Winnie Mandela, Oliver Tambo, and others, were inspired by and supported by Africa's end to African diaspora by people like Booker T. Washington, W.B. Du Bois, Dr. Joseph E. Lowry, Marcus Garvey, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Reverend Leon C. Sullivan, and others. Africans and African Americans must work together for the common good of our people.
Essence of this country's nobility, though hidden in apartheid, I will not come out. Mr. Nelson Mandela, we award you the 1990 Martin Luther King Jr. Human Rights Award.
When I went to South Africa in 1994 for the first election, after the fall of apartheid, I took with me a delegation from America to South Africa that really went as ANC, and we worked throughout South Africa, campaigning, speaking at rallies with Popo Molefe, with Joe Slovo, with President Mandela, with Jeff Hadebe, with Spoo Ndebele. We toured across the country. And went from Johannesburg to the Gauteng province and tried to encourage people to get out, that we thought it was a milestone for them to be able to go vote. And we did what we could to help turn the vote out. I've taken to South Africa with me at one time or another Reverend Timothy McDonald, Dr. Joseph Lowry and Evelyn Lowry, Brother Earl Tishan Holster from the NAACP, Ambassador Andrew Young have joined us for the Africa Renaissance. Martin Luther King III went over with us during the elections. His mother was also there during the election, Mrs. Coretta Scott King, and many, many others.
Education is the key to a nation development. But if there can be some rules and regularities to ban some certain group of people that they cannot get certain type of education, but that is not correct.
My youngest two children attended public school in Metro Atlanta, and I would ask them, what did you learn at school today? The first day they came home and told me that they were illiterate, unskilled, pagan, and poor because we were descendants of African people. And they said, can we go out and play? I said, no, you come back in here right now, because we had a lot of work to do. And I knew that I would have to supplement the education provided. So I began to pull all these things that you see here in the museum out to teach them about the majesty of the African people. So then I asked my son, what did you learn at school today? He said, I wasn't counted, you weren't counted, Mom, and Dad was 3/5 of a person. And I said, honey, let me show you these pictures. So I showed him pictures of the men who served on the jury to try Jefferson Davis, the President of Confederacy. There were 23 men on that jury seated, and 11 of them were black men. And I told my son, I said, this you have to memorize tonight. If any man, black or white, served on a jury of a president, he had to be peers of a president, because in America you're tried by a jury of your peers. So I want you to go back to school tomorrow and you tell them that you are peers of a president, never 3/5 of a person, because our families had been landowners here in the United States since the early 1800s. Your grandfather was born here prior to the Civil War and they voted. I said, and you are going to be a great man, created for leadership, fearfully and wonderfully made.
Long before Mandela was out of prison, Oliver Tambo came to the United States and to Atlanta. And before it was popular to support the anti-apartheid movement, when the African National Congress was considered too far to the left to march in respectable company.
SCLC, Dr. Joseph Lowry, and other leaders throughout this country was there initially from day one with the Free South Africa movement. This is not something that you must rest on your laurels with, hesitate or reserve to any degree. It's something you must work at on a daily basis. And until we truly recognize that we're of the same, that we would not have freedom from which we have historically embarked upon, until that united front, the ANC, the SCLC, the NAACP, and all of the lights to be in terms of the mindset of freedom and the heritage of African American people throughout the diaspora coming together, and particularly now more than ever before, to send a strong message. So when one brother or sister is in trouble, regardless of the ethnicity or background, we all can come together under one umbrella, and that's freedom for all God's children.